It's unfortunate, and one player I'm going to make an example is now this you may think this is a homer pick because I'm a 49er fan, but I'm going to bring up Roger Craig, who was a running back for the 49ers from 1983 to 1990. Retired after the 93 season. If you look at his numbers, 8,189 career rushing yards, 4,911 career receiving yards. Now, you hear those numbers and you think, you know, those aren't really Hall of Fame numbers right there. And I would tend to agree with that. Having said that, I mean, Roger Craig did have, some accomplishments in the league. In Super Bowl 19, he became the first player to record 3 touchdowns in a Super Bowl against the Miami Dolphins. In the next season, 85, he became the first running back to not only have 1,000 rushing yards, but 1,000 receiving yards. And as a matter of fact, in that same season, he led the whole league in receptions. Yes, he beat out all the other wide receivers that were playing that league. He led the league in 85 with 92 receptions, 1,016 receiving yards. So there you have it right there. He was the first to do that. He's the only running back to ever lead his team in. He was the only running back to ever lead the whole league in receiving. So there's some things that say Roger Craig should be in the Hall of Fame, and there's numbers like the 8,189, rushing yards. I mean, you look at that and you're going to say those aren't Hall of Fame numbers, and I agree with that. But if you ask me, not trying to be biased here, well, actually I am. I got to back up my boy. He's been eligible since 1999, and actually with the past NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2009, this was actually the first year where he was one of the 25 semifinalists. So, up until that time, he didn't really get that far, but seems like slowly but surely he's getting closer to getting into the Hall of Fame. Me personally, I think he should be in, especially for being the first 1,000-yard rusher and receiver in the same season. But the problem is he doesn't have really sexy numbers to back that up. But like I said about some of the other players, he was a gamer every game. Always played the game, never complained or anything like that, and he was just an outstanding guy. Now, of course, being an outstanding guy in the NFL doesn't get you into the Hall of Fame. You have to have the numbers to back it up. But what I'm saying is, I mean, to be the first running back to have 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving, in one season, I think that accounts for something, but then again, that's me. But that's a little example right there. You have some players who you feel are deserving, and every year, they just get shortchanged. And I know there's a lot of other players out there. Like I've talked to Raider fans, and they talk about how their ex-punter Ray Guy should deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, and I have to agree with them right there, because if you look at some of his numbers, I mean, he, 619 consecutive punts without having one block. Average 42.4 yards a punt. Had 5 punts over 60 yards in 81. And not one punt that he made was ever returned for a touchdown. But then again, some people might argue, oh yeah, he's just a punter, you think punter, you don't think of an every down back like a quarterback, a running back, wide receiver, linebacker, that kind of thing. But, bottom line is, kickers, they do play the game, and Ray Guy definitely helped the Raiders out in certain situations when he punted. Helped with good field position, and that's an important contribution. When it comes to contributing in the NFL. So should Ray Guy get in? I think so, but I don't know what it is with the process of how they feel about kickers are getting in. We have one, Jan Stenerud, but I think Ray Guy will get in due time. But the question is when. But basically, just to sum it all up, it's just unfortunate that we can't get every player worthy of getting into the Pro Football Hall of Fame to get in. But hey, it is what it is. So those are my thoughts on that. And I'm going to touch on one more subject before I get out of here, and I'm going to weigh a little bit on the pros and cons of whether fans should vote for the Hall of Fame. A pro, I feel if fans do get a chance to vote for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, it could be, a second opinion compared to what the Board of Selectors for the Pro Football Hall of Fame have. They can go, they can still do their thing. And if fans weigh in as well and give their second opinion, I think that could possibly influence the Board of Selectors to where maybe if they want to make a change or two or whatever, and they can hear the fans out, because I feel the fans are a very critical part to the NFL, and I think the voices of the fans should be heard. One con I can only think of will probably be if a fan has the opportunity to vote more than one time, to where I feel one fan, one vote, that's all it should take. Because I know if you did the voting online, there could be some flaws there. Fans could vote, especially if it was to where fans could vote as many times as they wanted to. And I don't think you can get any true results from doing that if a fan can vote more than one time. I think it should be one fan, one vote. So if there's a way that the Board of Selectors could regulate that to where only one of their votes will count instead of multiples, then I think it will be fine. Personally, I really would like the fact if fans could voice their opinions and feel who they feel should be enshrined in the Hall of Fame. Because we know every year somebody deserving is going to be left out, and that's unfortunate. So the Board of Selectors, they're going to do what they do, and that's fine. And I feel if fans give their vote, whether it be voting online or mailing in ballots or even doing video responses to like a website or whatever, it gives the Board of Selectors a chance to hear what we got to say and possibly give them second thoughts. We're not sitting there and trying to make them change their minds or whatever, but we're trying to give them another alternative to who we feel should get in. Basically like that. So we just want the fans to have a voice to who they feel should be in the Hall of Fame, to where it's just not mostly influenced by the Board of Selectors. I feel the fans, as passionate fans as NFL fans that we are, I feel that we should definitely have a say in who should get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We shouldn't have the final say, but we should have some influence on who gets in, and that's pretty much how I feel about that. And with that said, that's all I got. I want to thank all you guys for taking the time to watch this video. I'm Paul Williams, aka Big Thizzle 75. You can check out my YouTube videos on YouTube under my Big Thizzle 75 screen name. So until next time, hope you guys stay blessed, and talk to y'all next time. Late.